Good morning, everyone. Most of the times, people think that when a sick person is healed, that is when miracle happens. Or some people think that when someone pays a huge amount of money in their bank account without doing anything, that is a miracle. Or when they miraculously find themselves in a higher position, maybe through Imam Mad, through knowing someone, through some connections, that is when a miracle happens. For the fact that you are watching this video and you are alive and you are watching this video, you can breathe in and breathe out without needing an oxygen. That is a miracle. That you wake up this morning and you don't have a pain in any part of your body, that is a great miracle. So it's not only when you are sick and you get healed and you say, wow, it was a miracle. What I'm about to say is that miracle happens in our lives every second of the day, but we don't recognize it because God works in details. God is in details. That you are able to eat food and the food digests is a big miracle, because there's many people that cannot digest food. Many people cannot pee. They cannot go to toilet. Many people many people cannot walk. They are sitting on a wheelchair. Some are born like that. So that you can stand up and walk, you eat, you sleep. Many people cannot sleep. That for the fact that you travel from Lagos to the east without having an accident is a big miracle. Because when you go on details, what happened on the road with the driver and with the car, you will see several times God did a miracle. But the driver will drive smoothly without you knowing it, and he will bring you to your final destination. And you don't know it's a very big miracle. There's a miracle that happened in 2010 when I went to Nigeria for the first time. I was coming back from the east, and with me and my elder brother and also my younger brother, we were three in the car, and I was the one driving. So we were driving along Benin Lagos Expressway. You know that area where you will not find any single living being. You will not find a car or a house, just in the middle of nowhere. It happened that my car suddenly bumped into a deep hole, a deep pothole. And when I was coming closer, I didn't see the pothole. You know how the Nigerian road is. It was a dead trap. But I could be able to stop the car a little bit. If I would try to match brake with force, the car might somersault. So I let the car bump into the pothole. And it happened that the gearbox, the pipe that connects the oil to the gearbox, popped open. It cut open. So the gear oil was leaking because it was an automatic car. So after that pothole, the car couldn't move anymore. If you start it, it will start, but it will not it will not move. So we pushed the car and parked by the side in the middle of nowhere. And we were thinking, what should we do? We were looking around the car, looking at the bonnet. We didn't see anything wrong. I was confused. And it has been a long time I was not in Nigeria. So me and my elder brother and my other brother, we were on the bonnet. We opened the bonnet. We tried to stop any other car. There's no car. Every car that passed us was on speed. So we were confused because I was already thinking that we would sleep in that car. But you know how Nigeria is, that when you are stranded on the road, it's very hard to find a help. So suddenly, I decided to go to the boot. I don't know, a spirit said to me, go to the boot. Go to the boot of the car and look for something. I didn't know what I was looking for. I went to the boot and opened the boot. But that moment I was going to the boot, a bus, a white bus, passed us on speed. But at the same time, there was two men on their motorcycle. They passed us and they saw what happened and they stopped and started turning back. The one that was being carried came down and was coming towards us. Immediately I saw them. Do you know when a human being faces danger or when a human being faces death, there's this adrenaline, I think it's called adrenaline. Your hair will stand up when you sense danger. The same way when you come close to turkey, this toro, this chicken called turkey, it will grow its wings when it senses danger. My hair was standing up because I know that these two men, they might be very dangerous, because in that area you would never find a living being, and these two men was on a motorbike, so it was no good. They were coming towards us and they looked very dangerous. But at the same time, that bus that passed us stopped in front and started coming backwards. So it happened that the bus was carrying a policeman. The policeman came down with a gun, was coming behind those two men. Immediately those two men saw that the police was behind them. With speed, they entered the motorbike and drove away. And this is to show you that if they were coming to help us, I don't see the reason why they will run away. So they were coming maybe to attack us or to kidnap us. Even that time, of course, there was kidnapping, but it was not rampant like right now. It was not rampant. But these two men might have a gun or a weapon. They might rob us. They might even take us to the bush. And we were praying silently. Meanwhile, I forgot to say that before we start the journey, my junior brother prayed a very powerful prayer. That's why it's always good to pray. So, and those two guys on motorcycle ran away. They zoomed off, and the policeman was coming, and he was asking us. He asked us what is the problem. We said we don't know. The driver of that bus was coming also. He came close and parked and came down. It happened that this driver was when we were young, he was the driver of my stepbrother. The driver of my stepbrother when we were still growing up many years ago. So he could still recognize me, even though I was out of the country for so long and I had the long dreadlocks then. I think there was no way he can easily recognize us. But the moment I went to the boot to open the boot was when he passed. Had it been that I was still in the bonnet, he wouldn't see any of our faces. Had it been that me and my brothers, I was still at the engine, looking down inside the engine, he wouldn't see any of us. But the Spirit said to me, go to the boot and just check something. When I was going to the boot was when he passed us and he saw me and he recognized me. And he was carrying a policeman. You see how God does his own miracle. God uses timing to do his own miracle. He will bring you to that perfect time when the miracle will happen. So miracle works with time, with timing, perfect timing. If it's the will of God, God will put you in a position where the miracle will happen. So he came down, and even up to today, I couldn't believe it. If I think of it, how God uses him as an angel to rescue us from that situation, also from that dangerous moment. He came down, I was so surprised. He said that it was me that he saw. I said, how can you recognize me? Because I'm looking totally different from when I was growing up. He said he still recognized me. And that's why it's always good to be good to people. Because when he was serving my stepbrother, we were good to him. We didn't offend him. He knew we were good, we were friends. Had it been that we treated him bad, he might even see us and just passed. And there's no possibility that another person that knows us will stop there. So he came down, went into after we explained what happened, he went under the bonnet and saw that the pipe that supplies gear oil burst open. So he cut it and joined it somehow because he had an experience. He's a driver, and joined it somehow. And then he told us to where, he said this place is very dangerous. He has to bring us to where people are. So he towed our car to a town. And then we bought an gear oil. and refilled the oil, and my car started moving again. So we followed him at the back till we reached Lagos. I drove that car for extra 1 month before I came back to Europe. Nothing happened to it. So we didn't go to mechanic. We didn't pay a dime. He saved us from, God saved us from a dangerous situation and also fixed my car. This is a great miracle. It's a great miracle. So it's not only when you are sick and you get healed and you say, oh, it's a miracle. You know, miracle happens all the time, and God can use anybody. Up till now, I still call that driver an angel because God used him to save this situation. So my point is that in every moment, God does his miracle in our lives without us recognizing it. But before you can see it, you have to look in the details, because God is in the details. Thank you.